Welcome back to the 9th Gym program, and today we are talking about my personal favorite evolution, Jolteon. But first, hold up. YouTube moment. Did you know that a very small portion of my viewers are actually subscribed to the channel? You should go do that. It's free to do, and it would help a lot. Thank you. Anyway, into the video itself. So we have Jolteon here, electric typing, mono-electric typing. Makes a lot of sense, of course. You know, it's pretty good. 1 weakness, 3 resistances, pretty solid there. Overall, its ability is alright as well. Volt Absorb, giving you that, immunity to electric, which is cool. I have electric and resistances, but it's really like an immunity that actually heals, which is pretty cool. So it becomes a good switch in, you know. Jolteon is pretty cool now in Series 6, mostly due to, you know, losing Dragapult, losing Cinderace, like all these high tier speed Pokemon. Well, Jolteon outsped Cinderace, but you know, Jolteon was outsped by Dragapult, so it was a hard matchup, and there were a lot of Pokemon that were faster. And now... And you know, we have like priority Whimsicott, or priority Tailwind with Whimsicott. So we had a lot of faster Pokemon. And now with all of those Pokemon, those really fast Pokemon going out of the meta with the bans of Series 6, Jolteon is now once again an amazing Pokemon in my opinion. You know, not only in my opinion, I mean, people like Wolfie has played it a lot. You know, his team, he got to number 1 on the ladder. A lot of people have been using that team. It's a very strong team. Jolteon is very strong for that reason that it's very, very fast. It has pretty solid special attack damage as well at base 110. It's very, very good. So let's take a look at its stats here. So HP at 65, defense at 60, and special defense at 95. All are pretty bad. Special defense isn't bad, but like with its HP at 65 is not the greatest. Yeah, I mean, you can live a special attacking, not super strong sub, super effective move, something like a Gastrodon Earth Power. Most likely you'll live unless it's like Storm Drain boosted and, you know, potentially invested in stuff. So yeah, you have special defense, not that bad, and with Dynamax, our HP isn't the worst. It's not great, but it's not the worst. But our defense at 60 is pretty minuscule. So yeah, Jolteon is fairly frail, but that is not why we're using this Pokemon. We're using it because of the special attack and speed stats. Speed stat is insane. It's at 130, which makes it, honestly, I think it's the fastest unsupplemented Pokemon that's commonly used in the game. I mean, of course, we have things like, you know, the fast boys, but yeah, Jolteon is very, very fast, only really being outsped by like Swift Swim Pokemon, and well, like all the weather Pokemon, but Swift Swim's really the only main really used weather Pokemon in Series 6, and then of course also like Scarf Pokemon. So yeah, Jolteon is very, very fast, and that is why this Pokemon has such a good place in the meta right now. Also, a lot of bulky water Pokemon are seeing a lot of play, things like Lapras and Primarina, and Jolteon deals with those Pokemon very, very well with, you know, maybe like a Helping Hand or something to help. We have Damage Calcs in a little bit, so let's go ahead and move on to the VGC set now, and then we'll get to Damage Calcs and Speed Tiers here in a moment. So, into the VGC set itself. Ability Volt Absorb, like we were saying, Quick Feet is just not really that useful. So we have Volt Absorb, which is good, giving us that immunity. It makes it a very good switch in for things like your own Politoed, really any water type Pokemon that you have, maybe even a flying type Pokemon, being able to switch in, not take any damage from Volt Absorb, and even heal some maybe of Life Orb damage that you already took prior in the game, something like that. It can be really good. Speaking of Life Orb damage, we are using the item Life Orb, giving us an additional 30% damage at the cost of a little bit of HP every time you attack. It's super worth it, and when you Dynamax, you still get the buff, so you just Dynamax this Pokemon and attack with very, very strong max moves as the fastest unsupplemented Pokemon currently in Series 6 that is currently, you know, most used. Pretty good stuff. I like Jolteon a lot. I think it's very good. Let's go ahead and look at some other options you have for items. So Focus Sash is a no-brainer for an option as well. I definitely like Life Orb. I think the damage is pretty needed because 110 base is good, but, you know, could be better, and Life Orb makes it, you know, much better. Stack Life Orb plus Stab on top of a pretty solid special attack stat. You have a good special attacking strong Pokemon in Jolteon, being very fast. But a couple of other items, we have Focus Sash, like I was saying, you know, it's a very feral Pokemon, so that makes sense. And then we also have Magnet, which gives you 20% additional damage, but not the cost of some HP, and it only gives it to you for Thunder and Volt Switch, or, you know, any kind of electric move that you may have. So you wouldn't get that for Shadow Ball or Max Phantasm, which you would get with Life Orb, so that's why, you know, Life Orb is of choice. So yeah, then we have moves. Let's talk about our moves. So Thunder, Volt Switch, Shadow Ball, and Detect. I think that's pretty standard for the set, pretty common for the set. You know, dual Stab or like, you know, one stab but dual attacking of that stab. Volt Switch gives you a little bit of utility, being able to switch out early, which is very good. You also have Thunder, which is very, very strong in rain, but also becomes our best max move, being stab, and also based off of a 110 power move, which is very, very strong. So yeah, Thunder and Volt Switch is very, very strong. Then we also have Shadow Ball. We don't have a lot of coverage moves, so Shadow Ball makes a lot of sense on this move set to hit things like Dusclops, Dragapult when it's in season, but not, you know, right now. But yeah, for the Players Cup, yeah, it hits Dragapult, which is good. We do have Shadow Ball. Max Phantasm is also very strong, helping your Pokemon like Ferrothorn, Dracovish, anything next to it that is physical. You being able to lower the defense very, very fast as a very fast Pokemon is definitely something that's very useful, so that's good. We do have some other options, and then we also have Detect. You know, I value Detect / Protect, but Detect is better because of Imprisoned strats being used right now, things like Chandelure, you know, Indeedee Mail when it was in season, stuff like that. So yeah, pretty good stuff. I think it's a pretty standard and very solid set. So let's look at a couple of other options because it is, you know, a fairly customizable set. So we have the attack here. Rising Voltage is very good in the terrain, which you will set with your max move. Although there's a pretty low chance Jolteon lives for all 3 of its Dynamax turns, let alone past that, being able to utilize the Rising Voltage with our terrain that we set. So yeah, I wasn't using that, but it is a good option. We also have Weather Ball, being able to change typing on the fly with things like the weather that you set with your own, you know, Politoed or something. But, you know, it's not that great without that. And yeah, it's not the greatest max move either. And this is a max move Jolteon set, so yeah, we didn't use Weather Ball, but it is a good option. Next, we have Hyper Beam as well, which is a cool option. Something that you probably won't want to use, but it is a Dynamax Pokemon. Hyper Beam is a good Dynamax move because the root move is 150, giving you a 150 base power Dynamax move, which is very, very strong. We also have Hyper Beam giving it Max Strike, which is then speed control. So that's something to, you know, note. It's pretty relevant. We have Helping Hand and Charm both as options as well, not dealing damage, but they are good moves on a fast Pokemon. Well, Helping Hand is always there, but Charm is good on a fast Pokemon. So those are both options. We are going for the Dynamax path, where we are just trying to do as much damage as possible, so I didn't use either of those moves, but they are notable. Now, let's talk about our EV spread for Jolteon. So, EVs, pretty basic. We just went 252 plus into speed and 252 into special attack, and then our leftover 4 into HP because we're going to be choosing to Dynamax this Pokemon a lot of the time. Now, yeah, it makes pretty good sense. We want Timid Nature just so we can be as fast as possible. You know, Jolteon is being played a good bit in the meta right now, mostly due to, you know, Wolfie putting out his team that got first place on the ladder, and everybody's using that rental code. But yeah, you definitely want Jolteon to be you know, max speed so that you speed tie at the very least instead of just being outsped by opposing Jolteons. Makes a lot of sense. Also, we outspeed things like Weavile that we wouldn't outspeed without the nature of Timid, which is good. So we have 2 synergetic Pokemon here, but there are more. They were both used on Wolfie's team for good reason. They are both synergetic. The first one more so, Politoed, being able to activate Rain so that Jolteon's Thunder can be very, very strong. It's also good because Jolteon has that Volt Absorb, so you can switch out and then, you know, cover Politoed's, one of Politoed's weaknesses being that electric typing, which is pretty solid. We also have, of course, the Ferrothorn here. Ferrothorn likes Rain a lot, and of course, you know, it's a 4 times weakness to fire, and Rain halves that damage from the super effective damage, so that is pretty good. It also helps us complete our Fire, Water, Grass core. You put an Arcanine on this team, and then you have a very strong core 4, and it works pretty well. Yeah, it's pretty good. Wolfie's team was really cool, and you know, you're definitely going to see that a lot on ladder. A lot of people have been playing it. Anyway, that is going to be it for our build, our VGC build. Let's go ahead and move on to speed tiers now. So, let me go ahead and preface this. Jolteon Ice, that's because it said Jolteon, Ice, Faceless. Ice Q is on the same speed tier. It's not like an Ice type Jolteon, don't worry, it's just Jolteon. So, yeah. Anyway, Jolteon is very, very fast, boasting a good speed tier of 200, very, very strong in a meta where Dragapult is gone. You know, Cinderace, a lot of these top speed mons are gone, making Jolteon the fastest unsupplemented Pokemon. As you see, the only Pokemon outspeeding it are Scarf and Weather users. So yeah, it's very, very fast. Like I said, the only things outspeeding us that are like typically played, Dracovish, you know, at Scarf is definitely going to be pretty played right now. In Series 6, very, very fast Pokemon. Hydreigon at 247 at Scarf is also very played right now. A lot of people are playing Hydreigon. We also have Kingdra, which is probably the fastest Pokemon that's really relevant in the meta. Super fast Pokemon, outspeeding our Jolteon. It is what it is. But Jolteon does outspeed a lot of good Pokemon in Series 6. Things like Weavile, Ribombee, Inteleon, Raichu, Durant, Charizard. The list goes on. So many great Pokemon that we are outspeeding. Like I said, it is a much slower meta with a lot of those fast Pokemon being taken out of the game. Cinderace, the Dragapult, Talonflame, not Talonflame. I was thinking Tailwind, Whimsicott. Stuff like that are gone. So it makes pretty good. Also, like, a lot of weather strats, Venusaur and Excadrill, both are out of the game. So we are very, very fast as a Jolteon. Pretty good stuff. Anyway, that is going to be it for our speed tiers. Let's move on to some damage calcs. So this Pokemon does do a lot of damage, and like I said, is very fast. So it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and look at some of these calcs. So, special attacking, Life Orb, max special attack, Life Orb, Jolteon, max lightning, based off of the root move, Thunder, hitting 140 BP, which is very, very strong. Hitting into a Primarina with 252 HP is Dynamaxed as well, hitting 65 to 77%, which is a lot of damage. However, if you boost it with Helping Hand, we are hitting 98 to 116%, which is a 93% chance to OHKO, which is a roll, but a very, very in your favors roll, so it's pretty good. Next, we have Max Phantasm from our boy with Life Orb into a random spread of Eviolite, Dusclops. Like, I just put some investment into special defense. A lot will have a little bit less special defense as they are more defense heavy typically, but still, I wanted to add a little bit of special defense. As you can see, we are hitting 53 to 63%, which is a lot of damage, guaranteed to a KO. It leaves us a little bit of wiggle room for them to have a little bit more investment into special defense, or obviously less. It's pretty good. Dusclops matchup seems okay. Trick Room is not good to have them set up. You have Taunt next to it or something. Trick Room isn't great for this team, or like a Jolteon team, but that's why you have things like Ferrothorn on the team as well, that are fine under Trick Room and work with the team as well. It's pretty good. Next, we have Jolteon Volt Switch into our Talonflame. Now, obviously, Thunder or Max Lightning will do more damage, but at Volt Switch, we are still doing enough to guaranteed OHKO, which is good. 123 to 146 percent damage is very, very strong. Next, we have Jolteon Helping Hand, Max Lightning with Life Orb and Max Special Attack. Now, Helping Hand, without Helping Hand, this is not even close, but with Helping Hand into the most common build of Lapras, which is 4 HP, and then very, very invest into speed and attack, or special attack rather. We are hitting 106 to 125 into a Dynamax. Let me go ahead and preface that, because that's very, very relevant that is Dynamax. Yes, that is a G-Max Lapras that we are guaranteed OHKOing prior to it even setting up its Aurora Veil. Very, very good stuff. Now, of course, this isn't the most reliable calc because a lot of Lapras will be running some form of, defense or HP investment. So it won't always be happening like this. But regardless, we are smacking that thing real hard. So that's good. Next, we have a Dracozolt with max attack, Life Orb, Hustle. Very offensive. In my opinion, the best ground type Pokemon right now. It's very, very strong. Max Quake into our Jolteon. Super dead. We are Dynamaxed Jolteon, hitting 130 to 153% guaranteed into the Jolteon. Guaranteed OHKO. It's a lot of damage. That's a bad matchup. But you know what? Like, Dracozolt's top 20, it is going to be used, but it doesn't always have high horsepower. So, yeah, it can be a good matchup. Can be a bad matchup. It's probably a matchup I'd stray from as Jolteon, or as a Jolteon user. Anyway, next we have our last damage calc here. 252 plus being that Brave Nature. Thick Club, Marowak, Alola, Bone Meringue, not even Max Quake. Into 0 HP, it would have 4 HP, but that's not going to really matter. It does matter a little bit, actually, but a lot of the time Marowak will max anyway. So yeah, doing a lot of damage to Jolteon. This is, non-maxed. Bone Meringue hitting 2 times into the Jolteon, hitting 97 to 115 into our Dynamaxed Jolteon, which is approximately a 93, which is a roll, but once again is a very, very in their favor roll. So it's not one that I would want to run up against. But, if Trick Room is up, then it's a really bad matchup. But if Trick Room is not up, then we are hitting first, and we're hitting it pretty hard, potentially with Shadow Ball or Max Phantasm as well. So, you have different options, and it can be supplemented to be not the worst matchup, which is good. Anyway, we are super far into this video. Let's go ahead and talk about single spotlight real quick. Now, unfortunately, we did lose Toxic in Jolteon. It is now only a transfer only move, which is unfortunate. Now, I might be wrong. You might be able to use it in singles, but yeah, I believe you can't. Yeah, we have Choice Specs, Volt Absorb, doing as much damage as possible. Of course, the same spread, just being Timid and Special Attack. And then we put the leftover 4 into Special Defense. You can put it anywhere, pretty much. It's not going to be changing a whole lot. Now, it is relevant. Definitely put it somewhere. But yeah, Special Defense, we just leaned into Special Defense because it's already not that bad. And in singles, you can really, you know, hone in on special defensive Pokemon, bring this out into specialing attacking Pokemon, being able to live an attack or two, which is good. Now we have Volt Switch for pivoting, which is good. Thunderbolt, because we're not always going to be setting Rain, and then, so instead of Thunder, we have Shadow Ball, of course, for coverage, and then Hyper Voice instead of Toxic now. Unfortunately, we don't have Toxic to break walls, but it's still an okay option. Anyway, that is about it for the video. In sum up, I think Jolteon is a really strong Pokemon in Series 6. Like I said, being able to be the fastest unsupplemented commonly used Pokemon is definitely very good. Life Orb Dynamax supplements this Pokemon, makes it very, very solid for attacking as well as being fast. It's pretty good. It has good stab moves, very strong stuff. I like the Pokemon a lot. It's my favorite of the evolutions. I have a plush right over there of Jolteon. It's my favorite evolution, one of my top 5 Pokemon of all time, probably second place, maybe third place. It's awesome. I like Jolteon a lot. Anyway, that is going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe. It makes a huge difference. Do it. Go down there and do that right now. Thank you so much for watching. Join the Patreon. Join the Discord. Enter the... I don't know why I said enter. Follow me on Discord. Follow me on Twitter, join me on Discord, support the Patreon, do all of those things. Relevant links in the description if you want to follow any of those links to those other websites. They're all down there. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a great week. The week has started. Start your week off right with a good day. And the rest of the week is good. Also, tournament this Saturday. If you have not entered yet, I will link that in the description as well. It's on Battlefy. It's a Wi-Fi tournament. If you want to play that, it's free entry. Just great, you know, testing for Players Cup 2. Anyway, that is going to be it. Bye.